my time zone when my mind's gone and I'm flying home and I'm stressed out and I'm tempted to get that styrofoam.
So what's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Creative Conversations. You already know who it is. I'm Rico. We got Sean right here. And whether you're tuning in via YouTube or via SoundCloud, we're glad to have you here. Yeah. This is the second week we're doing the podcast, and we got some pretty good feedback from them already. So super stoked. And today we will be talking about habits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Last week we talked a little bit about goals, and I think habits are important because they're the vehicle that are going to get you down the road that you've created with your goals. And so habits are a really important piece to help you be successful. I love this quote by Brian Tracy. It says, "Successful people are simply those with successful habits."
Wow.
And I think we don't understand how much weight our habits carry on the things that we do daily, right? We talked about the importance of doing things daily last week. And so if you think about that analogy of the vehicle that's on the road, I think about our trip to the Philippines.
Yeah.
A lot of the viewers listening or watching may not know that you and I took a missions trip to the Philippines, a really remote area a couple years ago.
Crazy.
The closest island to us was where they had filmed Philippine Survivor.
Yeah, the Philippine Survivor. That's crazy.
Yeah,
dude.
so
it's so remote. It was insane.
It was legit remote, and I remember, like, if we would have gone by vehicle on the roads, it would have taken us a few days to get where we were going. But by boat, because the waterway is so smooth and quick, we could get there within 4 or 5 hours.
Yeah, that's crazy, man.
And even that was crazy because, like, the boat was sinking.
Yeah, like this boat was designed to fit like 20 people, and they had like 80-something people on the boat, slowly sinking this like 4-hour boat ride. Crazy.
Yeah,
that was so cool though.
So it was dope because this dude had a Home Depot bucket. You know,
and you're just like fishing out
legit
water.
just fishing out water the whole time.
Man, that was so funny.
And I don't know if you remember, but our engine went out in the middle of it, right? And so we're stuck and drifting in the middle of the Philippines sea.
Dude, honestly, I just tried sleeping that whole way. I was so scared. I was like, man, I'm just gonna close my eyes and just like pray we get there.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
So it was legit, man. But if you think of that analogy, the boat was so quick because it's direct shot. It's a straight way to get there.
Yeah.
And so you've got to create a great road with your habits. Your goals are going to take forever if you're not forming good habits that are going to get you there quickly. And so however long it takes to form that habit, some older literature is 21 days to create it, 3 days to break it. It may be up to 2 months. We don't really know. But the reality is, like, man, if you set that in every day and you're consistent with it, then you're going to be able to create that path, that vehicle that's going to get you to that every day. And it's going to help you just live that consistently daily. And in that, you're gonna begin to see results a lot quicker. So habits are important, man. So whatever it is, like if you want to work out more, you want to be more consistent with your social media, with your speaking, with your image, branding, whatever it is, you have to be consistent. And I think those habits that you build are going to define you long term. Because what we also see, man, you and I, is we see a lot of people like start out fast and fizzle quick.
Yes.
Because they have great goals.
Yeah,
but
and I feel like we've kind of experienced that on the small end of that as well.
Yep.
It's really easy to start something, but then to develop the habits to finish it off strong, that's the hardest part. That's where most people fail.
Yep.
But yeah, man, that's crazy, dude. That's crazy.
And so I think habits are a lot more important than people would give them credit for. It's like you brush your teeth, right? When you brush your teeth, you're not even thinking about brushing your teeth. It's just something you've done since you were a baby. But I'm a new dad. I got a 10-month-old, right?
Yeah.
And so for him, that's not a habit. To brush his teeth, he's got this little banana toothbrush that this baby company makes.
That's so cute.
He's just learning to like brush left and right and how to do it at like the proper rhythm and all those things. And so use that analogy for anything that you're doing, man. For you working out, right? You're able to do things that you weren't able to do 6 months ago.
It's so crazy how like you said that, because honestly, like these habits that I'm forming now, they're starting to shape my days in ways that I'm getting further ahead than I was last year.
Yep.
In the entire year, I'm getting further ahead in like months, weeks, and stuff like that, because just the way that my habits are forming.
Well, and dude, it fights off procrastination.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I think it was Zig Ziglar that said, bad habits are formed and you have those habits, and then the habit has you, right?
Oh, wow.
And that's the reality, dude, is like you get to this point where your bad habits, right, have formed your identity. And so not only have you not met your goals, you're not determined, you're not motivated, you're not inspired.
Yeah.
And so that's super important because it's going to help you fight off procrastination, right?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody struggles with it. Everybody deals with it.
Yeah. That's going to be a constant battle all the time.
Yeah, dude.
All the time.
And if you just like, honestly, form habits by getting rid of things. I think that's the best way to do it. For me, like huge for us was getting rid of our TV. TV is such a time waster, dude.
No, dude. Yeah. There's because like I consciously saw myself getting to this habit where I'd go home and I would play Call of Duty, right?
Yep.
And I'm like, oh, you know what? I'm just gonna play one game.
Yep.
15 games later, 2 hours pass by, and I'm like, what the hell am I doing with my time, man?
True. It's true.
Yeah.
And I think like, you can binge watch a whole season on Netflix, but like how much social media could you create out of that?
Yeah. That's
How
huge,
many
dude.
speeches could you write? How many people could you call? How many connections could you make? Like, we don't understand how much time we actually waste. You only have 168 hours a week. That's it.
Yeah.
What are you doing with it? Because sleep is going to take up some of that. Food is going to take up some of that. Work is going to take up some of that. And so are you going to let TV be the next most important thing that you do with your life?
Wow.
So what are you forming with your habits, and how are your habits forming you? I think that's important. So we can't tell you guys what to do, but we can encourage you to be willing to make these changes. And if you're willing to make these changes, then I promise you will build dedication, and dedication will help you succeed in the long run.
And I'm glad you said that, man, because like I think the most important thing about breaking bad habits and replacing them with new ones is being conscious of the bad habits,
right,
and then being willing to just be like, I want to get this out of my life because I'm not where I want to be at.
Yep.
And I feel like that's the first step that what it starts with breaking.
Let me tell you guys this little key snippet, man. You gotta share this video. You gotta share this video, and this is why I'm gonna give you a little snippet here. We're gonna do this later on in the season, but you understand the difference between IQ and EQ, right? IQ is your intelligence, right? Your EQ is your emotional intelligence. Now, you can't make yourself smarter on your IQ test. That's just not. You're born that way. You're stuck there. But your EQ can always go up.
Yeah.
And the more self-aware you become of those bad habits that you have, the smarter you're going to get when you change those things, and you're going to know how to be successful because you're aware. A lot of the most intelligent people in the world, they have great IQs, they have low EQ, and they're not successful because they don't have what we would call street smarts, right?
Yeah.
The ability to be aware and to rationalize and then change what's bad in their life and do it different. So I'm telling you, look it up, man. There's a lot of great stuff. Authors like Pete Scazzaro, EHS, Emotionally Healthy Spirituality, or Emotionally Healthy Leader. We'll give you guys more on that later, but I'm telling you, like, grow your EQ. Learn what you're doing bad. Get rid of those things in your life so that you can be more productive, more successful, and really more moldable in a lot of ways. Because too many people set in and they get hard with their bad habits.
Yeah, no, for real.
And then when you need to change and shift into something new, you can't. You just crack and you break.
Yeah. It's pretty crazy, man.
Yeah.
But the best thing about breaking a bad habit is that it always has to be replaced with a good one.
Come on, man.
So it's just like, you're not going to break a bad habit and then just have all this free time on your hands. You're going to replace it with something else to do. So, once you do get past breaking that bad habit or being consciously aware of it, find something to replace it with, something healthier, something better. Instead of watching TV, go for a walk outside, dude. You know what I mean? Like, just read a good book, listen to a good audiobook, do something that's more productive that will give you, your bang for your buck on your time.
Yeah, I speak to a lot of people that are in like NA and AA, Narcotics Anonymous, Alcoholics Anonymous, whatever. And when I speak at those conferences, one of the things I say is that everybody's addicted to something, right? And what are you going to replace the bad things in your life with? A lot of them are addicted to a substance, and dude, they replace it with smoking cigarettes and drinking coffee all day. There's nothing impactful or positive about that.
Yeah.
So my encouragement is like, what positive are you going to put in place of those negative spaces?
Yeah, that's so true.
And so be willing, guys. Think about it. Get off this video and make a list of those negative things.
Yeah.
Ask your significant other. Ask your friends. Ask your family. Hey, what are things that I do that are negative regularly? And be willing to accept that and change, because they're going to see things that you don't see. And so, I would just encourage you with that. And I think that's going to lead us into next week, right? Because next week we're going to be talking about fear.
Yeah, fear. That's what holds a lot of people back is the fear of change. Most people what they do is they stay in a bad habit because they fear what it's going to cost them to change.
Yep.
Or they fear the uncomfortability of a new habit. So they're comfortable with the life they have now, whether it's full of hurt or full of whatever it is. They're comfortable with that, and they're scared to change because they don't know if there's something else that can take its place that's worse.
Absolutely.
But fear is going to be definitely the next best one we got.
Yep.
So we'll see you guys next week. Thank you guys for tuning in. Share this video. Like this podcast. Comment down below. We still want to get your guys' feedback. We still want to get your guys' info on what you guys want to hear.
Yep.
And we're super glad to be doing this, to have you guys with us. So see you guys next one.
Thanks, guys.
Have a good day.
Keep me in my time zone when my mind's gone and I'm flying home and I'm stressed out and I'm tempted to get that style phone and go pull it up, but you know what's up and you know that ain't gonna solve nothing.